Diana's fate has always been tied to the gods. But what if the darkest goddess in mythology was the one shaping her path? Hecate, the powerful entity of magic and darkness, has marked Wonder Woman with a mission that could change everything. I'm Andrew the Geek Master, and in today's video, we're diving into Absolute Wonder Woman number 5, revealing the truth behind Wonder Woman's origin. There's a playlist with all the previous issues, which I'll leave in the cards and the pinned comment. To not miss stories like this one, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and let's get started. The chapter opens in Gateway City. Wonder Woman's message, declaring her belief in the people of the city, continues airing on TV. Meanwhile, a woman watching the broadcast holds a clipboard with a handwritten note to her sister, saying she's heading out to help and that everything will soon be back to normal. The two embrace as if it were their last time seeing each other. But just as she opens the door to leave, she's met with an unexpected visit: Officer Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman herself. At first, the sisters are startled to hear Diana speaking, remembering that in the previous issue, she cast a spell over the entire city, temporarily taking away everyone's hearing to prevent them from being consumed by the deadly sound of the monster outside. However, Diana reassures them. She placed another spell over this building alone, allowing them to speak safely. Here, we learn that the two sisters are Etta and Gia Candy. Gia owns a mystical item shop, and Diana needs specific ingredients to restore her right arm before facing the monstrous threat. As Diana lists the ingredients, surprisingly, Gia has all of them in stock. However, there's one more essential ingredient: blood. Thus, Steve, Gia, Etta, and even Diana herself donate their own blood. Diana then heads to a back room to avoid making a mess and begins her spell. She calls upon Hecate once more, asking the goddess to lend her power in the name of justice, until suddenly a massive red lightning bolt strikes her, completing the ritual. Now we jump to the past, years after Cersei received baby Diana on the hellish Savage Island. For some unknown reason, Cersei started having visions, and a mysterious voice spoke to her, claiming that Cersei was its most devoted disciple, the most beloved of all. Cersei refuses to believe it. If she were truly loved, this entity wouldn't have allowed her to be imprisoned in hell and forced to raise a child that wasn't hers. But the voice insists. Cersei was chosen because she alone could endure such a sacrifice. The voice declares that the love of this child will change the world, and will change Cersei herself, to the point where she will one day defy this entity to protect Diana. Cersei denies it, swearing she would never do such a thing, but the voice is certain: Cersei will. Then the voice grants Cersei a vision of its true form: Hecate, the Greek goddess of magic and witchcraft. Hecate repeats that Cersei is the most beloved of all her chosen ones, and assures her that she will be remembered and blessed. From that night on, the visions continued. Not regularly, but from time to time. Glimpses of what Diana would become, of the pain she would endure, and the strength she would show. Cersei also saw her own future, alone, trapped in hell without Diana. That was the night Cersei began crafting her first bond, one forged in love and suffering, magic and fire, a bond called sacrifice. Like Diana's love, this bond would be transformative, but like Cersei's love, it would also be a prison. Back in the present, the blood magic works, and Diana successfully restores her arm. She thanks Hecate, vowing that she will either prevail or perish. She also expresses her gratitude to her friends, acknowledging the debt she owes them, before wiping the blood from her body. As she does, she notices the message Etta left for her sister, and quickly realizes that the girl has gone out to help, despite the danger. Etta then reveals herself as a private investigator, earning Diana's admiration for her bravery. After bidding farewell, Diana steps outside, only to see that in the short time she was inside, Tetracide has already begun wreaking havoc on the city. The monster marches through the streets, destroying everything in its path. It unleashed its deadly call, but thanks to Wonder Woman's temporary deafness spell, no one came to answer it. Now Tetracide is searching for people, tearing through the city in frustration. Diana knows she cannot let this continue. First, she summons her Athena blade, which had fallen into the sea. Then she hurls a potion vial, which transforms into the very thing Tetracide craves the most, the horrifying screams of absolute terror, the same screams it would have created itself. Lured by the sound, the massive monster begins moving toward the shore, and in that moment, Diana casts another spell, enlarging her sword to an immense size, because as she says, half the battle is choosing the right weapon. With this colossal sword, nearly the size of Tetracide itself, Diana leaps into action. As Pegasus unleashes fiery attacks to keep the monster's tentacles occupied, Wonder Woman charges forward, praying to Athena to guide her strike. She also calls upon her mother, asking for strength, conviction, and an indomitable will. And in a climactic moment, Diana slices Tetracide in half, ending it once and for all. This incredible scene is broadcast live, not just on local news, but across the entire nation. Headlines about the mysterious Wonder Woman keeping the monster at bay reach the highest levels of the U.S. government. Yes, the chapter ends with the news reaching the White House. The President of the United States attempts to contact Commander Cole, the one assigned to handle the Tetracide situation, but there's no response. Frustrated, he turns to his national security advisor, Kale, who is watching the news in front of him. Kale coldly states that even though this so-called Wonder Woman may have killed the creature, they still have a much bigger problem, Wonder Woman herself. And so Hecate has marked Diana's destiny, and now there's no turning back. The power of the goddess of magic will shape Wonder Woman's path, and every decision will have its consequences. This journey is just beginning, and here on the channel, you won't miss a single moment. So make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay tuned for more epic comic book stories. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next adventure.